Allison develops a crush on her classmate Lucas, who is her friend Daisy's boyfriend. To keep her friendship with Daisy intact, she hides this feeling deep in her heart. Lucas is a timid boy by nature, so he often gets bullied by other classmates. Allison has seen him steal snacks from his parents' convenience store more than once. He gives these snacks to his bullies to stay on their good side. Allison pities Lucas for being so defenseless, but she also resents his people-pleasing ways. She eventually tells Daisy about what Lucas has been doing. Though Daisy feels angry, she knows how tough those privileged rich kids can be. To keep Lucas from getting bullied more, she comes up with an idea. She invites all the bullies to her home, hoping a party will smooth things over. Before long, Daisy gets completely drunk at the party. But what happens to her that night goes far beyond a bad hangover. The drunk wealthy boys take compromising photos of her without her permission. Lucas tries to step in carefully, but he only gets harsher threats in return. The situation has not spiraled completely out of control yet, until Allison comes home from work. When she walks in and sees Lucas being harassed, she immediately orders the boys to leave. She warns them sharply to stop picking on Lucas for good. Her warning, however, only makes the group furious. They were about to leave, but a twisted idea pops into their heads. To teach Allison a lesson, they slip an unknown powder into a glass of water. They force Lucas to trick Allison into drinking the whole glass. Allison believes Lucas's words. She thinks the boys will leave if she just drinks the water. Little does she know that this drink will bring her unspeakable, horrific harm. Over the next 6 hours, more than 40 men, including Lucas, assault Allison horribly. Even Daisy, passed out drunk on the side, does not escape the same fate. The group records the entire awful incident on their phones the whole time. The cruel act only stops when Lucas's father David arrives to look for his son. Even though David knows exactly what is happening, he dares not say a word. Since Lucas took part in the attack, David simply pretends he sees nothing. In that moment of unthinkable violence, Allison is swallowed by endless fear and despair. She cannot understand why the world feels so dark and cruel all at once. It feels like she has fallen into a bottomless pit with no warmth or hope in sight. Her soul trembles with terror, her heart breaks completely. All her trust in human nature shatters into pieces in that single moment. When Allison regains her senses, she goes straight to the police to report the crime. But Sheriff Carter brushes her off again and again, refusing to file an official report. He tells Allison to just forget the whole thing like it was a bad dream. Most of the boys involved come from powerful, wealthy families. Even the police chief treats those families with respect, so Carter dares not dig deeper. Not long after, all the boys who attacked Allison and Daisy are released. Their family connections and money get them out of trouble easily. Daisy cannot bear this unfair outcome. Her life ends in a nearby river not long after. The death draws massive public attention, and pressure piles up on the police. Forced by public outcry, the police arrest the boys again to restart the investigation. But the school wastes no time in kicking Allison out to avoid taking any blame. All at once, Allison feels abandoned by the whole world. She has nowhere to go, and no one left to rely on for support. Just when Allison hits rock bottom, a kind teacher named Rowan reaches out to help her. He gives her a place to stay and helps her transfer to a new school. Soon after, Allison starts at her new school, but she still feels anxious and scared. She walks on eggshells every day, as if the ground could crack beneath her feet. After that, Allison stays quiet and keeps to herself at all times. She avoids group photos with classmates on purpose, afraid her past will come out. She fears people will judge her or mock her if they learn what happened. Her love for music stays the same as before, but she locks herself away completely. She is like a hurt little animal, hiding in a dark corner to heal her wounds alone. To leave her painful past behind, she signs up for a swimming class, but the presence of a male coach makes her even more nervous and withdrawn. So she practices swimming secretly late at night to avoid being around other people. When she feels lonely and depressed, she goes to see her mother for comfort. But her mother reacts with coldness and rejection every time she visits. Her mother is building a new family and does not want her husband to meet Allison. Allison's heart turns cold as ice. The pain cuts deeper than she can put into words. She feels cast aside by the entire world, alone and unwanted at such a young age. To survive on her own, she has to stay on good terms with Rowan's mother. She works hard at the convenience store, and Rowan's mother slowly warms up to her. She agrees to pay Allison a monthly wage and lets her live in the house long term. As the shadow of that terrible night fades a little, Allison's mood slowly improves. During breaks, she sometimes hums little tunes without even realizing it. Her beautiful voice catches the attention of a classmate named Casey. Casey records her singing without asking, then invites her to join the performance group. Allison turns her down flat and insists she delete the video right away. She is afraid people will find out she transferred here and that the boys' families will track her down. But Casey does not give up that easily. She asks Allison again and again to join the team. Maybe it is her love for music, or the first person to care about her in so long. Either way, Allison finally opens up and agrees to join the music group. As days pass, she and Casey grow closer and closer as friends. Casey's cheerful personality slowly helps Allison let go of her inner pain. One day, while they are chatting, Casey asks Allison if she has ever kissed a boy. Allison goes quiet for a moment, then says yes. More than 40 of them. The conversation brings back all her painful memories in an instant. Her body shakes uncontrollably as she relives that horrible experience. Her eyes fill with pain, grief, and burning anger at what was done to her. With Casey's help, Allison meets more friends who share her love of music. Some team members even send her singing clips to a record label. Surprisingly, the label gets back to them very soon with good news. They love Allison's voice and promise her a chance at a real music career. Meanwhile, after months of hard work, Rowan finds a top lawyer for Allison's case. With solid, undeniable evidence, all the attackers should end up in prison. When Allison hears this, she sees a tiny, precious glimmer of hope in the darkness. But the justice she dreamed of never actually comes. Instead, her father Henry shows up, a man who drank all day and never cared for her. Henry asks her to sign a document, but he does not tell her what it is. Allison thinks her father has changed and wants to build a normal life with her. Little does she know he is tricking her into signing a letter of forgiveness. Some of the attackers' parents approached Henry secretly and made a dirty deal. If he gets Allison to sign the paper, he will get a huge sum of money in return. When Allison finds out the truth, she is crushed. Her last hope for her father is gone. Thanks to that signed paper, several of her attackers walk free once again. After taking the money, Henry also tells them which school Allison attends. Not long after, all the attackers' parents show up at the school with the forgiveness letter. They do not beg Allison for forgiveness with any shame or humility. Instead, they insult her, claiming she seduced their sons to scam money out of them. Allison's newly opened heart shatters all over again, and she falls back into despair. She feels the whole world is full of cruelty, lies, and unfairness toward her. It is like she is trapped in an endless, violent storm with no way out. She runs out of the classroom, pushing past the crowd as fast as she can. The parents chase after her, waving the forgiveness paper in the air. They act like Allison is the worst person alive for not forgiving their sons. This innocent, kind girl has been abandoned and betrayed by her own family. Now the whole world seems to turn its back on her and cast her aside. Even her right to start a new life is being taken away without mercy. When she gets back, she calls her father right away. All she hears on the line is loud party noise and his cold, careless voice. Then she calls Rowan, who has helped her through everything up to this point. But even Rowan can do nothing to fix this now. Allison already signed the forgiveness letter, and the money is in her father's account. Nothing can be undone at this point. The attackers will stay free with no punishment. After that, Allison packs her bags and leaves town. With nowhere else to go, she calls Casey for help. But Casey saw Allison's past online a while ago and finally understands why she was so distant. Instead of comforting Allison, she avoids her like she carries some terrible disease. She lets the phone ring again and again and never picks up even once. Allison's heart breaks completely. She feels she has nothing left to hold on to. Once again, she falls into endless darkness in this hopeless, cruel world. Not long after, Allison leaves her suitcase on a bridge. A splash in the river below marks her end, and marks the end of the film.